Breastfeeding exclusively has several advantages. Several advantages with respect to bonding of the woman with the child. We realize many times the women are just the one that the children fall in love with. But why will you not fall in love with somebody that is giving you what is making you to be alive? When you finish sucking, you are happy. That is what the children experience, and there is no way they won't embrace the mother, they won't like the mother, they won't appreciate the mother. So in terms of emotional support, in terms of confidence of the child, in terms of so the child is very much happy and bonded, well bonded. Aside that, the immunity of the child is intact, because at this young and tender age, there are likelihood of infectious agents coming through feeding materials. So if it is more of the breast milk, it means the mother is able to just clean around the nipple and breastfeed the child. So the likelihood of infectious agent coming in is very minimal. The child will not get into diarrhea and a number of other conditions that will make him run out. Some children die below 1 year just because of diarrhea and lack of care. So this can help to boost the immunity of the child, ensuring that what the child is presented with is hygienic enough, healthy enough to support him or her as he grows. Aside that, it is good to understand that the breastfeeding also boosts the IQ of the child. You know, within the breast milk, we have this agent, docosahexaenoic acid. DHA is usually even added to formula food just because of how important it is. It is known to be responsible for development of the sight and especially the brain of the child. This omega-3 fatty acid is quite helpful as it is provided in sufficient quantity to the child through breast milk. And then, I mean, who is not happy when the child is doing well at school? I mean, so all this effort turning out to make the child to be healthy, to be excellent in school activities, to be able to learn well. A child that is well groomed, a child that grows well and is able to school well, is the one that will finish well, be able to get good job, be able to take care of the family. So it's an investment for the future. And at that time when the child is needed, if the child has not been groomed, at that time it cannot be useful. I mean, so when it is useful and necessary, there's a need to be able to give to the child. Aside that, it is still useful to understand that it's a unique way to be able to allow involution, to allow the uterus to contract appropriately. So when the uterus is able to contract appropriately without much hassle of all those natural forces that we put on them or artificial forces that we put on them, the uterus is able to contract, the woman is able to get to her right turn. I mean, if you still see my wife today, I mean, it will look like she has not given birth to any child. And it is possible. She did exclusive breastfeeding, and I believe that's part of it. But some people have a bit more fat than the other. I know that with some recommendations, with lifestyle changes, there can still be help. And by the time you even remember that, oh, this is part of the sacrifice I make for the child, the child can see it. Your husband is seeing it. It's evident. And you don't need to deny it. It's okay because it's a worthwhile sacrifice. It's something to benefit in the life of the child for the future. Again, looking at the health of the child, remember that in the first 1,000 days of life, which is spanning through to the second birthday of the child, if the child has been exclusively breastfed, certainly will escape all of those disease conditions that will come up, and then will have grown well. And while looking at the future of the child relative to development of non-communicable diseases, the probability of the child getting into that will become minimized, because as the child is exclusively breastfed, the child has very minimal risk of getting into childhood obesity, very minimal risk of getting into non-communicable diseases, very minimal risk of getting into some challenges related to health. And if the child should get into those health challenges, it's also telling on the economy of the family. So there is a need to be able to give peace to ourselves. This is a natural way of giving peace to the mother, to the father, to the child, and to everyone even around. Benefits of exclusive breastfeeding is just enormous and cannot be overemphasized. It is worthwhile to continue to make deliberate effort to exclusively breastfeed the children, to help them for their future optimal health and life conditions.